Hello, Seiiti Arata. Life is taking us into different directions, and we are often asking ourselves, how can I do all of that? We find ourselves juggling a myriad of roles, expectations, and responsibilities. Do you ever feel like you're trying to fit into roles that don't really feel like you? It is so easy to get lost in that noise, but how often do you actually pause and you ask, whoa, is this truly me? Deep down, there is a voice that knows who you really are and what you're meant to be, and you have to listen to that voice. Yes, you need to pay your bills. So find activities that are aligned with you, with your interests. So many of us have interests that just don't get enough attention because of our busy daily routines. Just think about it. What are these things that you love, but you have set aside because they don't immediately pay your bills? Think about those Sunday afternoons that you're spending tinkering with some gadgets, or those evenings where you are thinking about very interesting travel itineraries just for fun. These passions, they can be like a gateway to a lucrative career. We already talked about how to change, how to pivot your careers in our previous episode. Just imagine channeling your tech savviness into a tech consultancy business, or maybe using your love for travel and planning trips so you can start a niche travel agency for some off the beaten path experiences. How can you do all of that? First of all, you need clarity. Start by listing down all these passions that you have. And then you can research industries and roles that are aligned with your passions. You might be surprised by the the variety of jobs and businesses that are born out of pure passion. Investing in courses, networking with professionals in these areas, or even doing some freelance work or even some volunteering work on the side can be your stepping stone. This is how you get started. Now, remember that turning your passion into a profession is not a far-fetched dream, but it is a tangible reality. It's just waiting for you to take action. Recognize the roles that you play, but remember who you are at the core. We all have this. We wear different hats at work, with friends, at home, but deep down, there is the real you. You might be great at problem solving. This could lead to a job in project management, or maybe you're the type of person everybody comes to for advice, and this sounds like you could start some counseling, some advising, some consultancy company. Break down what you're really good at. Find where these skills can fit in this job world. This isn't about changing who you are, it's about finding where the real you fits best. About this idea of roles, Erving Goffman had an idea. He talks about the social roles. We all wear different masks according to the situation that we perceive that we are in. They are like roles in a play. And we change them based on where we are or who we are with. And that is natural. But it is so essential to remember that these masks are not the real you. They're just roles. And understanding the difference between yourself and these roles, it will really help you. It will help you to feel better in this world, in your career. Strike a balance in your compromises without losing yourself. Compromises are a natural part of life. When I talk about compromise, I'm referring to these times when you have to adjust your desires, your expectations according to the actual situation. For instance, imagine that you're choosing a restaurant to go for dinner with your friends. Maybe you love Japanese food, but one of your friends is allergic to seafood. So even though you would really like to have some sushi tonight, you opt for an Italian restaurant, and then you can accommodate everybody. Now, think about a career decision. For instance, your dream was to be a veterinarian and take care of animals. But maybe your dad wanted you to study law, so you could take over the family's law firm. Or maybe you accepted a job offer that isn't really your dream job, but it offers you a better salary. Financial stability is important, but how often do you make this type of compromise? You need to regularly evaluate the decisions that you're making. Are these short-term conveniences, or are there long-term benefits? Here's an actionable tip for you to put all of that into practice. Once a week, set aside a few minutes so you can list the compromises you made, and then you read them. Next, ask yourself, does this compromise align with my long-term goals? Of course, you will have to have clarity on what these long-term goals are. But even if you don't yet have a clear list on your long-term goals, you can still have a gut feeling about whether your compromises are making sense or not. And if you find more mismatches than matches over time, maybe it's a sign to reevaluate. Maybe you are not living the life that you should be living. Maybe you have to become the person you're meant to be. In relationships as well, knowing when and where to compromise is so important. Personal boundaries are vital. You have to establish them. Discuss your boundaries with your loved ones. What are you willing to adjust? What is non-negotiable? A periodic review of these boundaries will ensure that it's relevant and it's respected. Know your values and set a clear mission to guide you. Values are the bedrock of our decisions, and often we haven't consciously defined our values. That's so important. It's part of the first activities that we're going to be doing together in our training, Planning Your Life, at arata.se/planning your life. You can spend a weekend afternoon reflecting on the moments when you felt proud or regretful. What were the underlying values driving all these emotions? You can do that exercise, it will give you some clarity. And for a more structured approach, you can use the 5 whys technique. You can ask yourself why a particular principle is important to you. And when you have an answer, you ask why one more time. You repeat the whole process 5 times. By the 5th why, you're probably going to have a fundamental value. Be who you're meant to be. When you're saying things that you don't really believe in, you're disrespecting that rule. When you do things that you know in your gut are not the things you would like to do with your life, you're also not being who you are meant to be. With your values clear, crafting your life mission becomes a much more simple task. It should be a reflection of these values, guiding you both in the big life decisions and also into your day-to-day choices. And always remember that a life led by clear values and a focused mission is a life where your authenticity will be very clear. Use the value check technique when you're making decisions. Distractions are everywhere. Invent, evite, tempting project. But what are these ideas, what these invitations align? How do they align with your goals? You can use a method called the value check. Before you say yes to anything, you have to ask yourself, does this match my values, my mission? A no probably means you should skip it. Saying no is pretty tough, but it is vital. Every time you decline something that is out of your path, you're saying yes to what is important. This choice helps you to build a genuine, authentic life. Of course, to use this technique, you already need to have a very good, clear list of values. And we're going to be doing that together in the Planning Your Life training. Review your actions every month, and then you adjust if needed. People change, goals change. So every month, for example, the last Sunday of every month, you have to sit down and then review your actions. Ask yourself simple questions like, did I follow my values? Am I closer to my mission? You can write down all your thoughts, and that will help you to see your growth happening, your awareness becoming stronger. Every year, do a longer break, an annual review. Think about bigger changes. Celebrate your wins. Note your challenges that you faced. This is not about just patting yourself on the back. It's about setting new goals, adjusting your plans, making better plans, staying true to yourself. Regular checks will help you to keep up with your changing self. Build genuine bonds by showing your true self. Authentic relationships are like gold. They're rare. They're valuable. And to cultivate authenticity, you have to start by being honest. Be honest about your feelings, honest about your thoughts. People will notice, and they will also trust you more. They will open up to you as well. Be who you are meant to be. When you're real, you draw people in. They feel safe. They can share secrets with you, their fears, their hopes, what they think. And together you can form a bond. It's very deep. It supports you, it guides you, both the good times and also the tough times. But how can you show your true self? there is a simple exercise. You can write down 3 truths about yourself, things that you rarely share. And over the period of the next week, you can share that one idea, with one close friend or family member. And more often than not, it will start a deeper conversation, a good step towards a strong bond with that person. Love yourself. Embrace your vulnerability. Now, nobody's perfect. That's a fact, and that is okay. Even your flaws are part of who you are today, so don't try to hide them. You can celebrate it. So when you accept your flaws, there's something that shifts. You feel lighter, you feel happier, and other people also notice. They will love their flaws as well. We all have them. That's what makes us unique, special. So embracing the idea of imperfections, it's something that gives us growth. It's about being more genuine. The idea of perfection is an illusion. But self-acceptance, that's real power. So embracing imperfections doesn't mean that we are ignoring areas of growth. Instead of that, it's about understanding and loving our whole self. And it is okay, it is healthy that we have goals to continue improving. That's why Arata Academy's motto is always improving. So here's an easy technique that you can do at home. You can sit quietly and just think of one perceived flaw. Now, instead of looking at that in a negative way, you have to frame it in a unique way, a unique trait that makes you who you are. For example, if you consider yourself to be too talkative, you can see it as, I have a lot to share. This reframing helps in appreciating ourselves more genuinely and also to remember to turn criticism into self-compassion. Now, as a second step, you can think of one skill that you can learn to improve things to make it even better. You could say, for example, I have a lot to share, and I want to improve my communication skills to ensure that my messages are clear, concise, and they resonate deeply with others. Loving yourself doesn't mean closing your eyes to your imperfections. It is about accepting who you are and, at the same time, to keep developing yourself. This is how you can stay real and also with the possibility to get better each day. It is not easy to deal with so many roles and expectations. Deep down, we have this innate compass, this gut feeling. It signals when our actions are not aligned with our true values. So every time you act against this internal guide, you're violating this important rule of being who you are meant to be. I invite you to cultivate a life that consistently resonates with your authentic self, leading you to have a profound sense of fulfillment. And you can do that. You can join me going to the link arata.se/planning your life.